What's up? What's good? It's your girl Mocha Baby, and I'm at you guys with another video. Hi to my new lovelies. How you doing? Thank you for following me. Welcome. I hope you like it here. And to those that have been subscribed to me for a while, hey, how you doing? What's popping with you? And you know how we get busy on this channel. We're all just one big happy family. Um, and I kind of just want to talk to you guys a few minutes kind of about what's really been going on the past couple days. It's in the news everywhere. I want to keep it short because there's already just so much coming at us on CNN and MSNBC and CNBC and BBDA and all these other news outlets. So I just kind of want to briefly give my opinion and keep it moving, so we won't be all night. Um, as we know, we're still waiting for the victor to be declared. Right now, we're standing at 253, Biden to 213.45. I'm going to start with the speeches that we heard last night going into the wee hours of yesterday morning, starting first with Biden. We get someone who's very poised, very presidential. He acts like he's the next president. He acts like he's the president-elect of this country, but he did not declare himself president yet. That was probably the first time I seen him have a little swag, a little fire. But even with that fire that he had, he still kept it calm, cool, and collected. He still spoke in faith. He still spoke in calm. And he still spoke in truth. Nothing he said was a lie. He kept it short and sweet. It may have been 5 minutes, if that. Then, maybe an hour or so later, we had 45 step to the podium in a room that he had set up at the White House. And his speech was completely different. Um, First off, he starts spreading all kinds of lies, popping all kinds of false rhetoric and falsities because he wants to make this thing messier than it has to be. He wants to start a war pretty much within the country, and he's attacking our democracy, something that has been in place for centuries, um, things that have been working for, again, centuries. And it's like, who is he to just think just because he's DJT that he could come in and just, change things just because, he's this rich guy. No, it doesn't work like that. You have to go through the due process. What's funny to me is how he was saying that they're letting people still vote. And at the time, it was probably 1:32 o'clock in the morning when this was going on, and nobody nowhere was voting at the time. All polls were indeed closed. Even Alaska, which was the last one to closed at 1 a.m. in the morning. So we know that nobody was casting any ballots. And he also said that, he's never, seen anything like this. But for him to sit up and say that, it's just like, yeah, duh. Of course, we've never seen anything like this. But we're in times that we've never seen. And I mean, it's really your fault that it's like this. So, I mean, if you're going to bitch about it, then you need to bitch to yourself. Because if you had handled coronavirus in a different way and capped it off before it got to this level, then it would not have been a need for people to send in as many mail-in ballots or send in as many absentee ballots, because people would have been voting more in person. But due to the fact that coronavirus is still very much alive, still very much out there, and matter of fact, at this time is surging and on the rise again in several states all across the country, we know that that is just not, applicable at this time. So for him to act this way really shows us just how childish that this guy really is. He is a sore loser. And what I've been having a problem with, and especially at the time, it really, even now, it's still anybody's, game. And especially then, it was still anybody's game, because at the time, it was 220 to 213 in electoral votes. So I was trying to figure out at the time, why was he tripping as hard as he was? Why was he calling for the counting of the votes to stop? Why was he trying to say that people were cheating and letting people somehow vote, breaking the law, like they're going to risk going to jail for a long, long time? I don't think nobody was doing that. Ain't nobody going to just sit up in jail for that at all. Like, I don't care how bad they want somebody to win. Nobody's finna do that. So that's null and void. And then, with him still attacking our democracy, how he wants to take the power from the people and put it on himself. He, especially with how he declared that he had won when clearly he had not. Nobody at the time had 270 electoral votes. And I talked about this on my Twitter feed, that's at Pretty Flocka, Pretty Flocko with the O at the end. Pretty Flocka 25 on Twitter for those of you that want to follow me. I talk a lot of stuff on there, and it's unfiltered, very raw. So follow me on there if you want to, dive into some of those topics, because I dive into a lot of pretty much everything, politics, entertainment, whatever, I get into it. But back to this topic, shameless plug, I know, but back to this topic, I was saying how it was still so close, and even now it's still so close. And that's actually one of the problems that I have with this election, with 45 being the type of person that he is, the things that he represents, the division, racism being the biggest thing, not denouncing racial supremacy and white supremacy, and not, everything that you're supposed to stand for, being the president, you're not standing for. I mean, being an idiot, not knowing what you're doing. I mean, you're a rich guy. You don't know anything about government. You don't know anything about politics. You've never been a lawyer. You've never been a governor. You've never done anything in that field. So why are you even president in the first place, first of all? And then second of all, why are you still continuing to run now? And then if you're going to run, why are you spreading falsities? And, why are you trying to divide further a country that is already divided? We're already one against the other. It's already violence going on. It's already people killing each other, taking things into their own hands, taking a job that doesn't belong to them, ending people's lives. We have enough of that going on. So we don't need any more of that going on. But with this election, with this race to 270, you are exciting just that with that speech that you made last night. And you only did it because Biden came out and made a speech. Because at that point, we hadn't even really heard too much out of you the entire election day going into the night. So you had to say something because he said something. You couldn't let him have it. And then when you got up there, you basically put your foot in your mouth. But they're not gonna stop counting the votes. He has put out several lawsuits, Georgia being one, Michigan being one, and Wisconsin being the other. I know that he wants a recount in Pennsylvania, I believe, if he loses, and Georgia also if he loses. Which I don't know why, because I mean, recount really don't change the outcome. It's just a recount. I mean, the numbers aren't going to change. But I mean, I don't understand this logic behind that. I mean, I don't understand too much of anything behind it. And I want to get into these black men briefly that have supported 45. I don't know how you can support anybody that says that it's okay to gun down your people, that says that it's okay to hang a nigga and they be perfectly fine, that won't denounce white supremacy. I don't understand it. And it's always been this thing with black men. I mean, and particularly the ones with money, but even not the ones with money. I mean, why would you sell out your people? Especially when black women, we ride so hard for y'all, but y'all sell us up the creek. And the rich ones sell us up the creek for what? A tax cut? For this supposed platinum plan that he's had 4 years to act like he care about black people. But he decides in like the last week, give or take, that he cares about black people? Why now? And I mean, do you really think that he's going to give $500 billion to black people? Do you really think that? I mean, come on. He wouldn't really truly make the Senate and the House agree upon a stimulus for everybody, not just black people, for everybody of every race, every creed, for far less. And he wouldn't, do that. So I'm trying to figure out what makes these people think that he's going to give 500 billion when he wouldn't even give, money for a stimulus to help everybody during the corona crisis when everybody is suffering. He doesn't care about people, anybody. So he doesn't care about black people. It's so weird. And I don't understand why this race is as close as it is. It really should be a landslide. And I've always been, when it comes to politics, an independent thinker. My family will tell you, because my family has always been blue. They've always been Democrats through and through. And see, me, I'm not necessarily a Democrat. I don't think blue through and through. I'm the type of person who wants whoever's best for the job. If they're a Democrat, fine. If they're a Republican, fine. If they're independent, fine. If they don't associate with a party, fine. As long as they qualified, got the skills, are spirit-led, have the experience to do the job and do it well, I don't care what party you're from. So, but I mean, I can't support somebody like 45 who clearly is not for the people. He wants to take power away from the people. He wants to make it be a dictatorship where he never gets out until he dies. He wants to take us back to slavery. He wants to get rid of people who deserve to be here just like anybody else, kick them back out of the country, and he wants to make us do the jobs that they do for no pay, like we're slaves. But we're beyond that, because see, the thing is, bless our ancestors, they did what they had to do, but we're not our ancestors. It's a lot of things that they took that this generation is not going to take. So it's no way that we're going to go back to that. So I'm going to end this video right here. If you are not subscribed to me, please, by all means, hit the red box for notifications. Ring the bell to be notified every time I post. And like always, stay blessed, stay fly, and may angels be camped about you. Until next time, later.